Is it me or is the world gone? Emotionally gone, both spiritually gone, and has lost its routes. And I mean literally that back in the day, there used to be these Petersonians, the Jordan Peterson people, the red pill. They used to be everywhere. Like they were everywhere here in Scandinavia and Europe and stuff. There were like a huge movement, eat meat, and I remember, people in my family being interested in that sort of thing. And, I was just playing Red Dead Redemption 2 in the background, and I didn't really hear or care because I was like actively watching Black Pill YouTubers at that point, and I did actually watch some of Jordan Peterson's stuff when I played Red Dead and stuff. I just did it because I was just bored. I needed something in the background. I was the sort of guy that had a laptop at the coffee table while, gaming on my TV. I was that kind of guy. I don't do it now. I used to do it a lot more before I lost, a decent chunk of my hearing. It's not the same vibe anymore. It wasn't there, back in 2025 either, but it was always like an option. I always like enjoyed myself every summer like that. Just some coffee, some energy drinks. Energy drinks taste so good in the summertime, and I was just like preparing for that. And nothing could ever. It's been a year now, and I'm almost a year. It's what date is it today? It's Oh my god, I don't have a clock. It's yeah, it's the fourth, I think. Yeah, the fourth. So in about 4 days, it's going to mark the 1 year anniversary of when I lost my hearing and the nerves in my right there. That's going to be. I don't know how to actually sort of like celebrate. Not really celebrate, but like it has to be some sort of like anniversary, I guess. I've stayed away from alcohol. I don't haven't drank in a single drop of alcohol my entire life besides one party when I was 18, and I just puked all over toilets. Got given 40% first day, and I had fucking no idea what to do. I just blacked out. My dad picked me up. I puked on my birthday, and you know that was it. And after that, I just realized that this can't go. Like me and alcohol and autism will never go and work. I got diagnosed with autism. I have basically like high functioning, but that's still like it's still considered a really bad thing. It sounds really positive, but it's basically you're not like non-verbal, or it is basically your it's sort of, I don't know how to describe it. You're like I'm still human in the end of the day. I'm not really that bad. I think I've gotten in a lot of trouble. Autistic people get themselves arrested all the time, etc., etc. But the Petersonians, the whole movement there before like Jordan Peterson got sadly brain damage. I think he got like benzos and he lost his mind, and he's been off public since like early 2024, I think, or 2023. I have no idea. It just went off the spotlight, and like my brother was all into that sort of stuff, and he watched these other like these health experts, and I was kind of like I did like Jordan Peterson, but like there was like after like he announced like he had a different show, archiving the mysteries of the ancient universe or whatever the fuck, and like I tuned out immediately. I knew that was just bullshit, and you know, the whole like neo-Christian 2.0 movement is just stupid in my opinion. The whole like thing with the the whole thing now is that people realize they can't get a girlfriend. It's almost impossible unless they're well connected or they're like young, and still have a little bit of potential, but literally it's like how you're born in the end of the day with like social connections that matter. I had like one situationship that lasted like 3 weeks when I was 18, and that's the only encounter with romance I've ever had, and I'm just ashamed, because I'm 21. I'm the same age as when I was dating my ex, and it's just crazy, Um, I can't get over her. I don't care really. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to fucking think about it. But it's like I don't understand that, like, the whole millennial trend of just letting go. Like like it's crazy. These people getting let 9 year relationships go. Like they are borderline marriages, and then they just break up. Like that. Like they should have broken up back in 2016. The whole like vegan movement back in 2016, 2017 was only like serious back in like 2017 when it was like a breakthrough moment, and then everyone sort of forced their ways of life towards other people. And I'm not even joking. They were like forcing, like, if you didn't live up to my lifestyle, I would literally like actually leave the house, and it was sort of like that. So if you didn't eat what they ate at the table, they would actually fucking go nuts, and that actually happened a few times. And it's been a little bit of a long time since I did all this podcasts slash like like BP talk, and it's just because I've been busy with. I don't know. I don't know if my voice changed. I've changed microphones to like a little bit of a more professional podcasting sort of dynamic mic. I used like a clip-on mic, and those work, but they're not terrible. They do their job if you need anything with your like phone or whatever. And that did its thing. And that was in the winter of 2026, and now it's like officially May. It's green and rosary and summery, and it's kind of crazy, because like I remember, I just wasted my entire 2025 just like sitting in the corner trying to get away from everyone, and just hoping to God my ears would heal the entire summer, and I wouldn't get invited to anything, or anyone would invite me to anything, and it's like, you have to put yourself out there, bro. You have to put yourself out there, and it's like, I don't think that's the case. Um, like putting yourself out there when you obviously don't have a social connection or a well-maintained friend group or like anything to prove like otherwise, it's just like actually just like I don't know what it is, but you get bullied for doing absolutely anything and everything. So it sucks. I've dealt with instruments and just let go, and like I keep doing music, but nobody really cares. And I like doing music because it's just really like nice and cool, and like I've been doing that, and like I've officially ended therapy too. It's kind of crazy because like I really liked sort of that routine, but there's like another person now that's gonna talk to me, but it's not changing my depths or like lifestyle. That's the kind of weird thing. Like I thought that like something would happen, but no. I like the only thing I did for like actual 4 year 2 years straight, I think, was just talk to some person about it, and like nothing would come out of it. Like they realized that like you're not violent, you're not like, you're pretty nice to people, but like you're always alone. You night drive, you listen to music while driving alone with your shitty electric car, and that's like, you have Asperger's. You just, like, I don't know, it's just genuinely over. It's like you can't really do anything about it. Trying to change your perspective on things will not fix anything. Only like on a good summer, like like you can probably reinvent yourself if you come to like new schools, or how many times can you do that in workplaces? Like I've been to a new workplace, I like, and it was kind of cool. This was the whole reason why I quit the whole thing too, because I was like this apprentice, not apprentice, but I had like a testing phase of employment and some like blue collar job, and it did actually go really well. But I was just having music in the background while wearing my mufflers, and I would just do everything that they told me, and I would just clock out. I wouldn't then partake in any social activities because I knew that I was replaceable. That's the thing. I knew that, like, they could instantly tell that something was wrong with me, and but like the first week was really cool because you could actually talk to people, but you're just another stamped book ready to be sent out. It's simply like that. And I've been just lawing them on. I've been getting to do stuff like that because I didn't do any sort of stuff for like a year, and I just gained a bunch of weight, and I lost a lot of weight, and that kind of became cool. But it didn't improve my social situations. The whole perspective I have, is that, like, even if you're outside and you are with people, and it, like, there's nothing going to change. That's the problem. It's like that you never learn from your mistakes, and they just completely ghost you out of nowhere for the fifth time this year. Like, I'm completely over at this point. But it's like the thing is that you realize that literally nothing can fundamentally get fixed, kind of, and you are just what you are, like mentally, and trying to fix those wires in your brain, or like what you're genetically predisposed to have, like you're like predisposed to be successful in a way. It's kind of weird because like it could only work in the 90s, but like the problem is that I had like I don't know. I kind of had old parents. I didn't really like there was back in like 2016, 2020, there was like an actual active social thing going on, but like yeah, I just see everything get worse after 2020. And I keep seeing it, people just disappear from my life, families just disappear. They just don't want to have contact. There used to be like annual wine fests. There used to be people that just listened to music and had a dinner time. That used to be all the time, back then, and that just doesn't happen anymore. It's like that optimistic era where people were like sitting together at the dinner table, just chatting away and drinking. That was actually pretty nice. The food tasted amazing. There were good vibes. You didn't need to drink. And I was a kid back then, but those people just disappeared one day. Back in that must have been 20. I think it was 20 like like 2008 to like 2021, I would say, where like when things really just died one day, and like the whole world of became like simplification of the whole art movement, but like the social thing just completely, like the optimism just died one day, and like even under Biden it wasn't really that well, but it was kind of better in media. It was this really fresh thing, but after that there's just been this like weird vibe, like like I feel like we're in the Cold War, kind of. Like this was probably how the Cold War felt like. But like there, like you can literally feel the stress around you, around people, you know. And like I've been listening to music again, and you know, getting into that, burning cassette tapes, burning CDs. But you know, there's nothing out of it. You know, you can simply do as much as you think. It's like I've been living like on basically a semi-isolated for years now. The 20s, the decade, the 20s is beginning to, you know, being at a closing phase. So that's kind of crazy because the 2020s wasn't really that, like it literally is a decade that won't be remembered for anything. Like the clothing styles are still the same thing from 2018, 2019, 2020. It hasn't changed at all. People just became way more radical. People just became more degenerates. Everyone just sort of gave up and realized that, you know, they, even if you do, you know, take care of your health and do a lot of this stuff, like nothing will actually improve your way of life. And like even if you're outgoing, it's like nothing will change. And that's the kind of perspective, because I went down to like 68 kilos, and I'm a fairly tall person too, like at 6'3", 6'2", and I still like I lost so much weight. I became skinny, and nothing changed. Like nobody would talk to me. Um, I was just being my autistic self, and like it's just crazy, you know. I was kind of edgy back then, but even then, I was like nice to people. But there was like nothing they could grow out of me. Like I wasn't poor or anything, and I wasn't begging for money. I wasn't, you know, you know, like dressing in Nike Air Force Ones, wearing Levi's, and you know, parajumpers either. I just literally didn't wear anything. I just wore like, you know, I just had like one clothing style and decided to go with it ever since like 2016, and I just never gave up. And I sort of just improved and changed my wardrobe, you know. And they're still, I just don't care, you know. I can grow my hair out in less than like 8 months, and like nothing will change, you know. Like that feeling where you're stuck and you can't fix anything, even God can't help you, you know. That's the worst thing I've ever had, you know. Like you're alone on an island, every Gen Z couple is having fun, everyone's out in the sun. When you're out in the sun, you look like a sore thumb, you know. It's like, why are you here, you know? Like I actually got like confronted back in the days, you know, when I was at places. I can now, I'm like, I've been the most outgoing person as I possibly could be. You know, I drive to, you know, I had like a phase where I like drove to every grocery store before closing time. I did that, you know, like in a 50 kilometer range, and I was just doing that, and nothing changed. There was no people to make small talk with, you know. And bars, I like, it's just disgusting, honestly. There's sometimes like bars, but like I don't like people, and chatting with strangers is like a sin almost. Dating apps, I really didn't take serious. I only took serious once back in 2023, and like it isn't worth spending my money into. I really don't think people are interested in talking to a no life, zero connection guy. Even if I drive a BMW, nobody would talk to me. And that's the kind of problem I am. Like I'm 21 right now, and I'm already feeling like I have a quarter life crisis. You know, like have a stable income. I'm beginning to save up money now. Like I've done that. That's the first time I've ever done that. Besides like the housing saving, which I already had like as a kid. But I'm saving money now, and you know, I'm just doing that. I've saved a lot of money. And you know, just saving up for a car, you know, and doing that. Yeah, I still drive like this electric car, but it's just boring, and I'm so comfortable with driving that I lose focus. I literally just lose all seriousness. I just don't become scared anymore when driving, and that's the weird thing. Like I'm so comfortable at the road that I sometimes just go completely numb, and I have to start wearing glasses when driving, and sometimes I forget them. It's just crazy. And like that's one thing too, like not wearing glasses because you literally think you look ugly, and like even like unapproachable with them. That's the crazy part because I am on like a minus 1.7, I believe, and and I don't care, you know. Like yeah, I literally will only wear glasses if I am like with family or like with actual like expensive, like because I wear glasses are expensive, so I should flex a little bit, but or I want to have memories that I want to remember, or just have like things that I want to see clearer, in a really hot and social moment. But people just tell me to take them off. You don't look good, and I spent like $400 getting those my first glasses, and I still wear them occasionally when I'm driving. I almost do like 50-50 when it comes to the week, and that's just because the problem with wearing glasses is that you would just look ugly and unapproachable. You know, like because like yeah, I have those. I just have like normal like steel frame glasses, and I don't know. Maybe I should get those hipster black ones. I don't know. Um, maybe those Kurt Cobain glasses. I don't know. I'm really interested in getting a Jag Stang. Like I just want a simple Fender at this point. I don't. I tried to actually sell my guitars today too. I went to the guitar store where I bought my guitars, and I just wanted to sell them for the dude, and he told me that I can he like $400 for both of them, and I gave him like 300 for each, and because I'm really interested in getting this Jag Stang, and or Jazz Master maybe, but no, Jazz Masters are just meant. The problem with music is that it relies a lot on the face. Face is everything when it comes to music. If you don't have a good looking face when like making music, Christ, like I've seen people try to like think that like it doesn't matter, but it literally does. Like people with good looks in a band literally have a much more chance because like everyone can sort of make it, but it's like it's taken so unseriously nowadays. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, driving my car, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, it's the same thing every single time with that stupid pony British accent. Like I just think it's stupid, and it's the same thing every single time. It's just like the same melody, almost the same people. In fact, it's just crazy. And jazz, like really want just a Jazz Master because it's like the only guitar pickup system that I don't own. I've tried single coils; they work alright, and it's just like with single coils, I don't really want to get into it. It's just like the pickups sound different and they create a different sort of soul. But why? What's the point? Who am I performing for? Like I haven't joined the band. I'm 21. I'm supposed to be playing live at this age, and recording my fucking second studio album at this point. And that just never happened. I started at 18, and nobody associates me with being a musician. It's just a simple fact. Like who the fuck even am I? That's the problem. And I don't hate women necessarily. Like people think like, oh, it's always because you hate women. It's like I don't. Like I treat them like everybody else. And like, I don't care anymore, you know. I literally don't care about giving them special treatment. You know, back in the days, it used to be really just ugly to swear in front of a woman. I remember back in the days, you couldn't swear in front of, you know, people and women. That was actually considered rude. Now it's just how the tables have turned. It's crazy. Like, it's just, you know, they can swear as much as they want, and like nobody would bat an eye. You know, and like, I've just been casually watching like Black Pill stuff, and like I've been like just watching and like listening to Spotify playlists and mowing the lawn and like doing that basically. I really get like, I just really want a job, but the jobs, like, they don't have enough capacity to hire people like me. You know, like it's all based on the seasons of the year. When it's winter, there's a lot of labor. When it's summer, it's just not in demand because the thing has been done for the spring. So every single thing that's, you know, supposed to be ordered in the summer, it's been done right now. So I'm done. You know, there's no more shipments. You know, and that's the kind of problem I have. And you know, I can listen to different genres of music. It won't change the outcome of my life and situation. It's kind of crazy because like I remember like the Obama era optimism. It was kind of crazy how, you know, night like you could be. It was like being edgy or corny was cringe. Like things were cringe back in the days. Nowadays, like there's just like what nobody, like nothing is cringe unless you actually like, you know, it's cringe. You know, like voice cracks, intentional like that's a thing. But like, I mean, everyone's doing it now, and this like it's just like TikTok. I got into TikTok last year, and you know, I've been just doing TikToks. You know, got 100, 200K views, and you know, my TikToks, and I think it's just cool. You know, but in general, I just didn't fix my uh, life in general. Nobody would invite me to anything, no matter how famous I got online. That is actually an annoying thing. Is that even if I got like a million or 100,000 views on YouTube or TikTok, nobody would talk to me. Nobody would invite me to shit. Nobody would ever mention me or, you know, invite me to drink with them. I have not gotten a single invitation, and I keep snapping them, and then block, or you know, simply they left me on mute. They don't open my snaps. They don't respond to my snaps. It's over, you know. And you know, I've been thinking about growing my hair. I shouldn't have never cut it, but it's like always the summer feeling. Oh, new summer, new me. You know, it's like I realize where the fuck I don't have any friends. I'm completely connectionless, and I cut it short. You know, and it's growing now, so it's, 4 months time it will be a decent, shoulder length, I guess, or middle hair. Like it, I'll never cut it at all. Maybe trim it or get some lady to help style it for me. You know, because like usually your hair goes uneven, you need to get it cut eventually. Like um, you need to get help with someone to help them. You know, you want to keep growing it, but you just want to cut the edges. But like the problem with like hairstylists and stuff is that they keep cutting your hair short. Like, okay, let's go short. Come on, you're a guy. Let's try this out. It's like, no, I've tried going short multiple times. It doesn't look good on me. I look like I don't know. I just have that incel vibe, and it's like, well, come on, let's just cut it short. And like, okay then, and then like, holy shit, I'm sorry. And it's like, yeah, I told you, you know, because I look like the penguin when I'm like middle parted, which is kind of crazy because I literally have like the thickest hair imaginable, and that's the sad part, you know. and that's pretty much it. Just like I've been just gone, and this has just been my talk.